Hi guys, it's Sharon with Little Britain Company. Welcome to the channel. So today is the 4th of July and I wanted to do something special for the 4th. And I know I'm doing Christmas in July right now, but I just thought we could veer off just for today. So I'm going to make a cute little spiral notebook for the 4th of July, very much inspired by Carolina with Carolina Crafts. So I made one that is not 4th of July. I thought I would show you this. This is kind of the one I made up. I always make one, and it's not always the same theme before I make the one with you guys. And I love this one. I'm so in love with this one. So this is a simple little spiral. Let me pull back just a little bit so you can see it. Got some pockets in here. I absolutely adore these. Just the look of it. I think I just had a video come out where I did. Yes, I did the present one that just came out yesterday. It's the same paper that is in this one. The same papers. Except for this, I did find that I had this polka dot vellum that I had from Echo Park. And it's funny because I didn't know what I was going to do with this. I just was like, I don't know what to do with this. And I see Carolina do these, and she always uses vellum. And I was like, I can do that. So I've got these. This is not index cards. So the paper came from this little notebook that I had laying around. I have just way too many notebooks, and it wasn't really cute. So I took the paper out. And so there's 45 sheets of paper in here. So here's the dividers and more paper. And then I have these little pockets, and I made these little bookmarks. I just love this thing so much. And then more divider. I was trying to split it up. Here's another one with a bookmark. Isn't it cute? And then this one has a little bit more vellum. And another divider. Just go through this one really quickly. And another cute little divider. And then this next one has the third bookmark. So I kind of spaced them apart. And this bottom part, these were just scraps. So this one is 1 inch and the other ones are 1.5 inches. And the book itself, oh golly, I forget. The book itself is 4 by 5. 4 by 5. The other one I'm making is going to be 3 1/4 by 5. Because I'm actually using the bottom half of the paper. I just measured it to that. And then we got more paper. And the very back, we have this little guy and this last little tuck. Then we have the final amount, the last piece of vellum, and more paper. A little sheep. I love it. Anyway, I am tickled with this. I normally do not cover my my board with patterned paper, but I don't know, I was moved to do it. And I do want to say this beautiful, I don't know if you all can see this sort of pearlized gorgeous paper is a Park, oh shoot, the Joanne brand, Park something. But what I wanted to tell you was I found this at Ollie's. If you know Ollie's discount store, they are getting in some of that paper. So, so if you need some, you might want to go look. Okay, so this book, we're gonna go. I am making the chipboard 3.5 by 3 by 5 3/8. That should give me 1/8 of an inch all the way around, top and bottom and to the side. And then the pages are 3 1/4 by 5. My printed pages are going to be 4 1/4 because I just want to fold up that inch. These are a little bit smaller than the other pages, so I'm going to do 1 inch, not 1.5 inches, and then by 5. And this, let me show you, as I throw things around. Okay. So this is a piece of, this was the backing to a calendar of some kind. Clearly not cut well. This is the straight side. So I'm going to go ahead and start trimming this down a little bit and try to get this it's actually not that easy to cut. See, it is chipboard, but it is also a little if it doesn't work, I'll just grab something else. I do want to go fast, so I'm not going to do a lot of extra explaining. Chipboard's going to be 3.5. Do my 3.5. Okay. All right, 3.5. No. 3.5 has to go this way. This way. Is that right? Yes, that's right. And then by 3.5. Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry about that. Get that out of the way. And put that back in my scraps. So this is 3.5 by 5 3/8. Right about there. That side. And cut on that side. I'm just cutting it on this side because I know that was the straight manufactured, relatively straight manufacturers. Move that out of the way for a minute. So I'm actually using, I'm going to go ahead and use this one, mostly because I know I'm going to have a dark color on here. I'd be concerned about using that particular one if I didn't know I was doing a dark color. So I'm going to grab some red. I think I'm going to cover this in red. That's too thick. I don't like to use anything too thick because it cracks. One moment. You know what's funny? I had everything else picked out except for the cover. I decided to go with black because I was thinking kind of fireworks, nighttime sky, and I think this one will work perfectly. So let me go ahead and get these adhesived up. I was kind of thinking back today about my growing up. The 4th of July is, oh, that's going to be, I don't want to use that. That's not going to be. But growing up and what 4th of July was like back then. Oh, wow. I remember the parades. It was always so exciting. My mother made every holiday into these amazing events. I remember I grew up in Charlottesville, Virginia, and one year we had the privilege of having a naturalization at ceremony at Monticello. I just remember how cool that was. I honestly don't remember which president did the naturalization, but it might have been Ford, who, because I was pretty young, who came and did it. But everybody was pretty excited. I remember being in elementary school. in 1976. That ages me. And that was one of the few years that my parents had me do, because there were, I'm the youngest of 9 kids. We always had somebody around to, to hang out with. So doing summer camp was not something we did a whole lot of, but they put me in summer camp that year. And I think they did it because there was this really cool program teaching us about the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. And we did all these like fun activities that were meant to kind of mimic that time period. Oh wow, I remember that so clearly. We did a lot of really cool stuff that year at that camp. Every 4th of July, oh my goodness, the spread that my mom put out. Well, as we got older, we would start to help, but when we were all younger, when there were 9 kids, it was just my mom. Oh, my mom, my poor mother, putting all that together. She was an amazing woman, an amazing cook. Yeah, I just, and honestly, as I'm doing this and going through, I just thought I'm just reminded of a lot of those times. What it was like. Everybody was so excited about coming together for that is not square. For the parades, for the fireworks, for the food, for the events. The celebration was so just amazing. We all just came together so well back then. I remember one year, for some reason, I guess, I decided to wear a long skirt. I don't think that lasted long. I think there's a picture. I had very short hair at the time. Little picnic table with my sister Susan, because we were the youngest. I mean, she's older than me, but we were together in being the youngest at the time and relegated to the kids' table. It's kind of funny. But oh my goodness, my mother made everything just something. It was always just such a wow time, It was. It felt so incredible. Oh my goodness. I remember I was very young and we did a 4th of July parade in our neighborhood. Oh, I helped my father put the flag up because 4th of July, you put your flag up. And yeah. And I remember talking to him about the neighborhood parade. I was very, very young, maybe 5. I think I had just a little, I think I just simply dressed in red, white, and blue and got into the wagon, and one of my older siblings might have pulled me around. I don't know if anybody else remembers that. I think only one or two of my siblings actually watches the channel. But wow, that's just such a clear memory. That's funny. Did you all ever do that? Did you all ever have those neighborhood parades and get-togethers and super fun? And like I said, we were such a big family. It's funny. We would all, I'm sure, I think what normally we would get in, well, we used to be able to see the fireworks from our house. I remember that there was a time when we could absolutely see the fireworks from our house. But then, trees and buildings and things got in the way. Those silly trees. And there were some years that we went over to the fireworks would take place at the local park. So I think certainly there were a few years when we just all piled into the vehicle and station wagon. We all had station wagons. Did y'all have station wagons? Oh my goodness. Get to the station wagon. All of us. Although I do remember having a second car. I mean, by the time I was old enough to remember anything, I had siblings who were old enough to drive, so maybe some of them got into the other car. I don't really think all 11 of us ever fit into one vehicle. Wow. Although that was a different time period. So going down and seeing the fireworks, that was after we cleaned. After we cleaned up, we did not, we had to put all the food away. I remember Dad at the grill. Grilling out. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I have any pictures from that time period. If I do, I'll try to insert one right around here. But, wow. It was a holiday, so we were all together. Even as some of my older siblings were getting older and going off to college, some of them getting married. I think I was 5 when my oldest sister got married. Wow. Oh, the memories. Oh my goodness. So when we do these albums, when I do these I just do the covering. You can see I've just covered each of the pieces. And then I'm going to come in, but not quite. And then try to, there we go. I'm going to miter, but I don't want to get all the way to the corner. Easier said than done. Because if I get all the way to the corner, I'm going to have to work on fixing that. It is fixable. It is absolutely fixable. You do not have to throw everything away and start over again. If you get too close, and then this little corner becomes visible. I think we're going to be okay. Okay, that's one. Just in case, before you glue down, don't get rid of these little guys. Hold on to those just for right now. Not forever, but for right now. I remember, go back to memory lane, I guess, singing the Star Spangled Banner. I would think about what it would have been like for Francis Scott Key to be so moved to write that poem, and how amazing, how strongly those people felt about maintaining the promise of that, of the Declaration of Independence and of the Constitution. Things that nobody had ever had before. And that's always, to me, that's always kind of what's incredible. That's, the U.S. was doing something nobody had ever done before. For me, now they've done it. The copycats. Maybe that's what makes the country feel so special. We did something no one had done. We offered people a place to come to be free from the restraints that other societies had put on them. Whether it was a religious restraint or I don't know what else. Or the inability to change your class. The classism of that time period where, pretty much you were stuck where you were born. But we had the promise, excuse me, I think that's always been so special, that promise of a better life if you're willing to put the time and effort into it. I'm just reminiscing here, guys. Thinking about all these things, especially from my childhood, especially as I get a little older. This is such a special holiday, too. Not every country has a day that they can point to and say, hey, this is where it was. This is where we became free of crazy King George. And this is where we, this is where our people came together, decided to stand together. That's really quite something. My grandfather fought in World War I. Highly decorated. I didn't really, by the time I came along, I didn't get to see him much. He lived in Chicago. But the way my mother talked about him, that man walked on water. Hard worker. Trying to okay, guys, so you can see I'm just I always do my long sides first and my short sides second. And you don't have to do it that way, but I do find I just like the look a little bit better Whichever way you might want to do it, I would just suggest you always do, opposite sides first, and then the other opposite sides second, and then you get a more finished look. Ooh, it came off. All right. So now I need to grab a sheet of paper. So I am using paper from this Park Lane. That's what it is. From this Park Lane I bought a couple years ago. And then this is another Park Lane. The top is in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So that's another Park Lane. So these actually are very complimentary. I don't think I bought them the same year, but I might have. I don't know. So I'm going to see if I can find a piece of paper to cover the inside and then something to cover the outside, because I had already picked. So these are my sheets for the inside sheets. And then these are going to be my inside pages with the pocket. Some of them are double-sided. Not all of them are. And I'm okay with that. I think that's actually going to work out fine. So now I have to decide that I think that would actually look really cute on the inside here. I think that would be really cute. But I also need to decide what's going to be on the outside. And I was kind of thinking about this one and keeping the dog on the front and using this one on the back. What do you think? So there's that option. There is this option. This could go, I could do probably a double mat of that, but I want to think about what I'm going to put. So here are my cut aparts. Let's see. I really like family food and fireworks. I like that one. I think I'm going to do family. If I do family food and fireworks, that's too busy. Is it? Let's see. I think I've got some bread here. What if we did that? I'll show you guys on that. Too busy. Too busy. Okay, like the red. What am I going to back it up with? All right, let me find something. Okay, I think we have a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. All right, I move that stuff around. Okay, so I adore this particular paper. So it's going to go lengthwise on the inside. No. First I'm going to do the red, then I'm going to do that, then I'll mount the other one. So let's start with the red. And then on the, I just put away the paper I'll grab the other paper for the inside. Okay. So, move this stuff out of the way. Okay. So these are, I gotta remind myself, this is now 3 3/8. Yep. 3 and 3. I don't know why I'm doing it. It should be 3.5. But it's not. Huh. Is that going to work? Did I actually make this too small? That's just going to make me crazy. Oh, no, it's fine. Perfectly fine. Okay. So it is about 5 3/8. That is 3.5. I'm losing my little tiny mind. All right. So that's funny. Okay, so my mats are going to have to be, let me write that down so you guys can see it. Put that up there. I don't need these anymore. I use these in the corners if I make a mistake. Or if I put my pen down. Gracious me. Okie dokie. All right, I got a pencil. I don't think it'll show up as well, but okay. So my mat for the covers will need to be 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so let's pop back out again a little bit. 3 3/8. Okay. Yep. By 5 1/4. Let's get that right there. And didn't mean to do that. All right. So I'm just checking. I'm just checking. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so on top of that mat, this is for the covers. And I'll zoom you again so you can see what I'm writing. So then the print that's going to go on that mat is going to need to be 3 1/4 by 5 1/8. Yep. Okay. Put those aside for a minute. What did I just do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is going to be tricky, kind of tricky. I just want to make sure that I cut my 5 1/4 this way. And so this will be the 3. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So I need 5 1/8, which will be about There. That's going to actually give me the biggest chunk left over. And then I need 3 1/4. And let's see how that's sitting. Perfect. So that won't make the next one. So I did the same thing. 5 1/8. 3 1/4. Can't mess up on this. I only have these 2 pieces. There's that one. And perfect. All right, I'm gonna start by putting those together. What do you guys think? I really love these little notebooks. They are super fun. Now, if I was smart, I would be doing multiples at the same time, but not only am I not smart, I really, really just wanted to make this one cute little guy. Then, shoot. I hate it when that happens, when I go over the edge on my glue. So as I've been reminiscing, I would love to hear, you know, your memories, if you're American, because I know not everybody is. Having lived in Europe, I know not everybody is. But I would love to hear if anyone out there has some special memories, you know, growing up. And the things you did with your family on the 4th of July growing up. Maybe things you did with your kids. When my eldest was growing up, he was born in Wisconsin. So we couldn't really come home to my parents for, at least for the first few years. And then we moved back and we spent a lot more time with them. And then we would go to their house for the 4th of July. And every once in a while to my big brother's house. I guess sometimes it was my brother or my sister did that sometimes. But to me, it was always more special at my mom's house, my mom and dad's house. This year, so we'll see family for the 4th of July with little Brit. Or, okay, there's the 2 pieces that are going to be the covers. I'm going to go ahead and do this part. Let me go ahead and cut this one down, because I know what I want here. I'm going to leave that for the moment. I forgot I needed to get rid of this little guy. Do I have any? Yeah, I'm just going to get rid of it. But I do think I'm going to leave the length here, because I'm going to look for something, maybe a firework or something to put right there. I think I have the stickers that go with this series. That's so cute. So if I did that just as a design thing, that looks fine. But watch what happens when I kick it up a notch and I put it on there. And it just makes it pop. Now, I'm lazy. I don't want to measure. So I'm going to do this. I don't know about anyone else. Anyway, so yeah, I'd love to hear. I also, you can go on to my Facebook, Little Brit & Co. Facebook. And, you know, if you want to share a memory on there, I would love to hear it or see it if you've got pictures. That would be super cool. I'm trying to remember more about some of the things that we would do for the 4th of July. We would always decorate. Oh my goodness, would we decorate? Oh my goodness, we always had the sparklers. I remember the sparklers. I remember burning myself with a sparkler. Those things were dangerous, man. I remember burning myself with a sparkler and my mother putting butter on it. We now know that's not a good idea. Let's see, did I get that straight? I feel like it's not quite straight. That's better. Yeah, I'm not above the shaving a little bit there. How cute. I like it. I hope you guys like it. So I think we've gone to the, you know, as I've gotten older, we've done a lot of things. Gone to the beach. And what do y'all have for 4th of July? What does everybody out there make for their 4th of July? Be very interested to know. So I should not have done that. I don't not like to do that with these notebooks because I would rather go ahead and punch the holes. That's why this one is better centered than some of them. And hopefully this one will be fairly well centered, because once you do the holes, it kind of changes your orientation as far as centering where this goes. So, and I'll be using just my mini for this one. And I should be good with that one. Okay, oops, I need to do my inside cover. I don't know what to do for my inside cover. I thought I pulled paper and then I put it all away. Let me grab that paper. Okay, so I found my paper. I'm going to try to cut this to the same size that I would do for the mat, which should be 3 3/8 by, no, I'll do 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. So let me work on that one. This one I don't have to worry about the orientation for this one. So 3 3/8. It's going to be, let me get y'all back in here better. There you go. Right about there. So that's 3 3/8. That's one. This is a 6 by 8 paper, which is making it really nice because it definitely gives me enough to do this. And then the next one was 5 1/4. So that, oh yeah, that's going to be perfect on the inside. Okay, and this one's 5 1/4. And it gives me all those wonderful little scraps to work. I try, guys, I try to use these little ones. I try to figure out what I can do. I will tell you there's some paper in those packs, just a few sheets I will never use because they're glittered, but they're oddly glittered, and the glitter comes off everywhere. It's driving me crazy. Okay. Alrighty. So let's get these down. And then we can finally start putting together the bulk of the book. And that actually isn't going to take too long, I don't think. So I've got some of it ready to go. It's cute. And this one. Let's see if I can keep the glue on the paper. Nope. Apparently no. The glue gremlins have spoken. There. Now I can move on. Okay, so I have my front and my back, and we're going to go ahead and cut down some of these papers. They are going to be, they need to be 4 1/4 by 8, and then I'll decide, not by 8. Okay. The length is 5 this way, but the width is 4 1/4. I'm gonna have to keep double checking that, my dimensions there. And I am definitely, I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, and the land, this has got to be 5, right? Yeah. So this, yep, matches up to my pages. All right, so let me go and start and just do those real quick, and we'll come back. Okay, so I cut down my papers, and let's see. I think I am going to use something really bright in the front. Oh, I'm going to use these pies. Clearly, food was a big thing I talked about. So I'm going to put the pie in the front, and then that one, and then, oh yeah, bike rides. We used to go for bike rides too on the 4th of July. Decorate the bikes. Part of the parade, dude. Okay, so that one, I'm going to do it more food. And then that one, and more food. And then the bikes, and more food. And, okay. So, we've got this side. This should be, so I'm going to score all of these at 1 inch. So I can fold them over. I know. Do it this way. There it is. This little scoring tool is so handy. This one is from, that's not 1 inch. I almost did. So I know that I'm going, and I know it's going to be upside down. Maybe up, but it'll be fine. So see, I've got my little pocket. I'm going to make sure that it's the right size when I compare it to, oh, it's not. Why is it not the right size? I need to go up another, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So, let me just take one of these out. Sometimes this happens. All right, so if that's where that's going to be, I'll just flip it around and I will score it at 3 1/8. Okay. So I'm going to score it right there. It'll be fine. There. Best laid plans. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's the side that's out. Two. I do want to make sure I'm putting it on the right side. 3. Most of these. I don't think there's any orientation in any of these. 4. 5. So the other reason, I guess, why the 4th of July is so special to me is that my husband and I were actually married on the 3rd of July. And we actually picked that date knowing that the family often got together for the 4th of July. So we would just kind of make it easier on everybody. And we had our wedding at my sister's house. It was kind enough to let us have the wedding there. It was beautiful. And my stepkids, who are British, they got to experience a 4th of July. It was super cool. And my stepson, my son, I know that child, he was so little at the time. And I know that he had had watermelon in his lifetime. But watermelon in the UK was expensive at that time. I don't know what it is now. Because it was all imported. And I remember a little watermelon, little thing would cost like, I don't know, 8 pounds or something crazy. This one is also going to be upside down. Doesn't really bother me. But if something like that bothers you, just think about that when you're, looking at orientation. So, yeah, so they were, I think a good time was had by all. We got to see fireworks. We took them to Williamsburg to kind of experience. I will say we took them to Williamsburg, which should have been just huge fun. And we did walk around a little bit, but it was miserably hot that day. And so hot that I believe they closed down a whole bunch of their outside activities, and the horses couldn't walk through it because it was just too hot for them. And so we spent, I think, most of our time at the pool, at the hotel pool. Yeah, can't control the weather. You just can't control the weather, right? But I loved being able to do that with them, to have that, to experience that with them, and have them here for the 4th of July was super cool. So yeah, you can kind of see my food theme here. All right. Getting these ready. And then it's really just going to be mostly about putting it all together. So I was trying to keep this under an hour. I am not going to be successful, but I tried. I gave it the old college try. All right. Okay, this is the last one, and then I am going to pull out the my stickers, and I'm going to pull out my stuff. My stuff, if that makes sense. I'm going to pull out the vellum. I'm going to get the vellum. That one is too pink. 1 minute. Okay, so I found my vellum, and my other colors were a little too pastel-y, so I went with the gold. I thought that would be cute. So now I'm going to put this thing together. Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to do, these are already kind of ready to go. And I want to make sure, so with this one, I want this nice little space to be on the outside, and this is going to be on the inside, the part that gets, there we go. 1, 2. I have to think. I don't want to think. 3, 4, 5. Now there are 9 of these. So I decided that this was approximately the right place for a second piece of vellum. Six. And there are 5 sheets in each. 7, 8, 9. Cute. Look how cute. I'm just going to kind of scan through it and make sure all of my lined paper ended up going the same direction, that it all has the same space there. Okay, I'm ready. I know y'all are shocked that this is under 2 hours. Okay, now I just have to line this guy up, which is easier said than done. So it's lining up. I just want to make sure that it's wherever I am here. I just have to decide that's where I am. So I'm doing it at 3.5. That's where I'm going to be. Oh my golly. Oh, holy cow. That was a lot to go through with the extra matting. Whew. Now, yep, I have to remember that this is my back. So when I put this one through, I want to do this one on this side at exactly where I put the last one through, which was right. You know what? I'm going to double check that. Yes, exactly there. Right kind of on the inside of the halfway mark here. And that is where I need. Is this going all the way through? I don't think it was. Okay. Right there. Don't move. Don't move. Oh, boy. Okay. So now, if I did it right, those lines align perfectly. Yay! Okay. Now I'm going to sit down. I'm sorry if the table was shaking. I had to stand up to do that. Oh, that was something. All right. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do this next part without pulling up. Okay. So these are slightly smaller. So now I have to figure out how much smaller. So I'm just kind of looking as to, so that's at the 3, that's at the 1/4 inch. That is approximately, oh, okay. So if I go there, that should be fine. If I go here, why is it doing that? I just need to make sure it's straight. All right, I'm going to go right on the line for the 1/4 inch. That's not right. I need to be right between those 1/4 inches. Close enough. I'm going to be at the 8. I'm going to go right to the side of that 8 for each one of these. And I just have to see kind of exactly where I am. Yeah, that works. So I'm just going to go probably, let's shoot for 2 sections at a time. Cannot possibly be. Okay. So that's right to that side of the 8. Yeah, that's working. And next section. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get that in. Move this up a little bit. There we go. I made the mistake once of not having everything pushed in as far as it should have been, and then things are off and it's messy. So it really is important that everything is in there really well, exactly where it's supposed to be. And I do know, I'm going to try this. I know some people do this to make sure that it all stays together. And I feel like that last one shifted ever so slightly, and it's not going to make a bit of difference, but it's going to bother me. Oh, jeez. Just like that. To the side of the 8. That one was nice. And this last one, right there. That one was nice and easy. Okay. I have my holes. Now, let's see which color shall I use? I don't have a red, but I have a dark blue. I think that one would be nice. Okay, let me get my, here they are. My cutters. And I am going to measure from, doesn't really matter what end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. Putting this one back where it belongs. You can actually get quite a few if you're doing these this size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count and recount. Okay. So the next thing is everything's going to go on this way. That's nice and smooth. Then put your top on, and then you put your bottom on. Seems odd, but oh, it came off. No, why would you do that to me? You evil thing. Okay. Just have to get this one on properly, because that one is holding. This one's being funky. I don't know why. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to move it like so. And I'm going to make sure that it goes up against the back. It's about as flat as I can make it. Oh. All right, I had some problems with this one. Oh, I know, because it's so thick on that side. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to just kind of help it along a wee bit. It's going to make it a little bit tight. I should have thought about that when I was doing this one. Shoot. Yep, that's one. Close enough. Let's see how we do. There we go. It doesn't affect it at all once you get it closed. Look how cute that is. Look how cute that is. All right. I'm going to make a little bit of ephemera and I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut down some of my ephemera and I brought in my stickers. I have got to show you guys my sticker system sometime because it is awesome. So I do have the Park Lane stickers that go with this series. I also have these fun. I was just thinking maybe, I'm not really sure no, that doesn't work at all. I have the other one that goes with them. These are really quite raised, so I'm going to use one of these on the front. And then this one was cool. So let me see. I don't know if these are all the same. It's been a while since I looked at these. Let's take a look at these stickers. If I can get into it. Maybe not. Okay, let's just do that. That was not going to come apart any other way. Yep, they are all the same. All right, I put that there. So I am thinking about some of the ephemera I cut down. I'm going to use it on some of these kind of empty pocket spaces here that needs something, because not all of the paper was double-sided. But do y'all still put a flag up on the 4th of July? So I might leave that one empty, but just put in, I don't know. We have this lovely big flag that we put up. I'm just going to add a little bit of ephemera. This is basically done, but I wanted to do a little bit. I like the little home sweet home. And I'm actually not, often I'll back them up and I'll put them on, I'll put things like this on extra cardstock, and I don't know that I'm going to do that this time. Oh, I was thinking, yeah. This one, I'm just going to do this cute little guy. I can get that off there. It's cute. All right, so this one needs something, something. It needs a little something, something. So what should I do here? These are not the right size, I don't think. I think I'm going to trim this just a wee bit. Oh, this is meant to be a flag. I gotcha. I'm not even going to pull out my wonderful little cutter. I am just going to do this. And yep, I like that. Lovely. Oh, and it needs something. What else do I have here to put in there? This is too big. So is this. But I feel like I can trim this just a wee bit. And I can do this. It's going to cut it even smaller. I have this, let's see, it's about right there. There, I kind of chopped off the little top of it's cute, the top of the firework, but it's still, it works. All right. Not gonna worry. Let's see, how many more do I have? 1, 2. Oh, I just have 2 more to go. So I think I'll do my little, I'm gonna hold on to that one for a minute. I think I'll do this one. I need to put the stopper right here on my glue before my glue goes completely dry. I can get in there. Okay. So this one was nice in that it already had the makings of the tags. I'm going to go ahead and trim this down just a wee bit more. Okay, that did not work as well as I wanted it to, so there. I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer. Put that little guy there, and I'm going to finish it off with my little red, white, and blue. And I have a little bit more ephemera to do something else with. Then I'm going to go to the front, and I was hoping to find something. Oh, I'm thinking this cute little thing right here, or the little firework. Oh, I don't know. Probably the little firework, although I like the other one. This is why my husband laughs, because I started to get so tickled. Okay, final walkthrough. I move stuff out of the way so you can see what we do. Oh, trash. Let me get the trash out of the way. And here we go. What do you think? A little 4th of July, a little bit of ephemera. Then you go through to pockets. with a little bit inside them. This one's the Home Sweet Home. And this one didn't get anything. Kind of feel like, I feel bad for it now. I feel kind of bad for it now, so I'll see if there's something here. I'm gonna hold off. I'll hold off for a minute. It's fine. And then this one, this little guy. And there you go. Hope you like it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July. I have to say, I love my country. That's it. Happy 4th of July.